Hi YouTube, Merry Christmas. I thought we might celebrate by me telling you what my favourite products were for this year. I have to say, it's not been a vintage year, I don't think, for makeup and most particularly skincare. Maybe that's just me and not the fault of the products. I have found myself not really having time, energy, and motivation to experiment that much. It's all been a bit of a shock to the system, really, in the second part of the year, definitely. Well, the whole of the year kind of getting back to normal after the various lockdowns and so forth, getting back to travelling quite a lot. And I just don't seem to have had the time and, as I say, the energy. And I'm also at that age where my skin is changing quite a lot, particularly the skin around my eyes. So I'm finding it much harder to do dramatic or really any except the very simplest of eye makeups. Ladies with hooded eyes, crepey eyes, aging eyes will feel my pain with me. So I think that's why I haven't felt it was a classic year. But kind of looking back on my Instagram and various notes that I've made, there were quite a few products that I have enjoyed. Two are kind of, well, three actually, three, four, it's going up. Um, if I think about the single most used, useful palette I've used this year, it's this one. It's by Burberry. I bought it at the beginning of the year. I don't know if it was their holiday release. I definitely had it in, I think, January. And it's absolutely perfect for travel. It's quite lightweight. It's still looking very stylish. I have to say, although I have used it a lot, it doesn't really look it. Why do I like it so much? Two reasons, really. There's kind of everything, more or less, that I need in terms of powder makeup. In particular, I love this muted caramel taupe matte shade. It's just the perfect work shade. It's beautifully soft and it's a real kind of one and done. You know, you can get a bit of definition into your eye. You can just put it over the lid. You can use it with a small brush to line, or you can use the darker brown is what I've done. I do use the gold actually in the centre of the mobile lid as well, and that doubles up as a very bright highlighter. I don't use it for that. There's a very soft peachy blush, which I love, just perfect for my skin tone. This eyeshadow I don't wear as an eyeshadow, but if I want a bit more colour, that works as a blush. There's a highlighter. It's not the most terrific highlighter in the world, but it's okay. You can see there, it's looking quite pretty. So I have to say this is my product of the year, sadly for you, because you can't buy it anymore. What you can buy is a product that I have raved about. I'm always hesitant about raving because some people just don't, it's all to do about personal preference, your skin type, your age, all sorts of things, your beauty concerns. All Feisty Jennifer, whose YouTube channel I love. She's different colouring from me. She's auburn, but she's quite pale skinned. Not hugely dissimilar age. I'm a bit older, so I often agree with her recommendations. She does tend to prefer kind of warmer palettes than I do, but generally, if she recommends something, I like it. If she disses something, I tend to agree. Now, she doesn't like this Hermes plein air nuage blurring powder, and because I've already raved about it, I absolutely love it. It's a white, but it doesn't give a cast, certainly on my fair skin. It just blurs and it works for me. It's definitely the product of the year for me, but it may not work for you. What can I say? What else about the eyes? I've bought several palettes that I've barely used at all. I fought to get this one. This is the Tom Ford Soleil, Winter Soleil Chalet Lust. I had the other one, the the kind of input to the Tom Ford site in the UK is pretty grim. This is the least kind of popular of them. I know a lot of people feel it's all a bit too pale and a bit too samey, but I love these colours actually. I think they're really, really pretty. Again, I can do a kind of eye wash that just kind of brightens my eye, or a soft gold look, or a bit more muted. Can you get exciting, defined looks with this? No, although using it wet gives you a bit more scope. So it depends what you're looking for. But this was my favourite of a fairly samey year with Tom Ford. I think they're kind of plonking out too much, really, and concentrating on quantity over quality. Although I didn't manage to get the khaki palette, which I think I would have liked, but I just couldn't get hold of it. As I say, the supply chain is not brilliant here in the UK. Chantecaille, you know that I don't know why I've still got the box for this. This was another favourite palette. I didn't like the Cougar one very much, but this one, you can see I've used a fair bit. What I love, well, these two really, again, this brightening colour, but this absolutely gorgeous, oh, shiny metallic taupe. You know, what I could do with those two colours, the Burberry and this one. So that was a huge thumbs up from me. But then I got all excited about the Cougar, which was a kind of slightly warmer version. And I didn't like that very much at all. So what can you do? Complexion-wise, I talked about foundations the other day. Nothing really grabbed me. I did have a couple of primers, and my favourite was Chanel's glowing makeup primer, moisturising, plumping. It's a teeny tiny little tube for some hideous amount of money, but it does what it says on the tube. And that was my favourite primer this year, although I got this large sample size in some gift with purchase, Suku. I've never tried their foundations or complexion products. I've stuck to the eyeshadows, the blushes, etc. This is their treatment serum primer, and I really like it actually. It's very moisturising, definitely gives a good base, slightly less glowy than the Chanel one, but there's a bit of a glow there. Yeah, that's a good primer. I don't know how it compares price-wise. A good concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. I don't think I spoke about this at all. This is the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. This got a lot of rave reviews on YouTube, including from Jennifer, all feisty, but others as well. And on this occasion, I agree. It's a beautiful concealer, particularly useful under the eyes, works for me with my dark circles, doesn't show up the wrinkles and bags. It's very moisturising, quite a thick, still definitely liquid, but I don't know if you can see, there's definitely quite a lot of pull in it. You can use it elsewhere on the face, but I mean, it's great for the eye area. Best of the concealers I tried this year. Not a vintage nail year, I don't think, from Chanel. My kind of favourite product, this is my second, is actually a limited edition. It's the Camellia Oil cuticle thingy. So I don't know how long it'll be available for. It's still available at the moment on the website in the UK. And as I say, this is my second. It's just so useful to have in your handbag rather than the more kind of traditional oils that, come in a glass bottle or a messy pot. It's just really easy to apply. So I like that a lot. But I didn't think it was a great year for Chanel. They came out with those Les Beige, I think 12 in the autumn. I bought all 12. I still haven't worn about 8 of them. They're nice. I mean, they wear well. They're high gloss. there's a beige for everyone, and you didn't need to buy all 12 like I did, but they're still kind of beige. This was my favourite of them, kind of mid-warm, called Original, which I do like, so I picked that one out. Their top coat in the holiday, excuse me, in the holiday release is gorgeous. It's not little bits of glitter, so it's not annoying to apply or take off, and it doesn't make you look like a disco ball, but it gives a definite dimension to any nail colour. I mean, they intend you obviously to wear it with the red they also released, but it looks lovely on its own, and it looks lovely over all sorts of other colours, maybe just as an accent nail. I actually bought a backup of this one. I love it. I actually thought their spring release was the most interesting colour-wise. They were all fairly matte. These were two of that release, which was CC Green, which I think sold out in the States, and Moonshell. I knew I was going to love Moonshell, really pretty kind of lilac, and I thought this was going to be a bit ick, really difficult to wear on my skin tone. Actually, I wore this a lot in the summer, believe it or not, and I love it. Now, bad news for me, Hermes really expanded their nail polish collection. They were initially sold out. They still predominate with just pure, I suppose, satin matte colours. And I think you might as well go for one of the unusual colours because they're so expensive, although, they're beautifully produced and they're good nail polishes that last well on the skin. The top coat and the base is good as well. I think this is a beautiful green. They have two greens. They have a Scottish green, Vert Écoté, and this is Vert Egyptian green. Really, really pretty and unusual and quite festive at this time of year, although I'm not going to go for that for Christmas. They brought out two metallics, two or three. I bought two. There was a grey one and there was this one, Metal Violet Manganese, which was their first kind of more textured release. And it's lovely. So I wish they'd do more of that. Well, do I? Yes, I do. I've now got an Hermes collection, so those of you who are worried about my nail varnish problem and your husbands who are worried about my nail varnish problem, it's not going to go away in the next year. Lipstick. I bought a lot of lipsticks and hardly any of them were massively used. I loved this casing from Dior, and I got it just with the ordinary gloss, which I have worn quite a lot. I don't love Dior lipsticks. The formula's fine. It's actually the smell. There's quite a strong fragrance, and I just don't love it. But I do have that on my desk, and I touch up my lips quite a lot. I got this one out, not because I've used it a lot, because I haven't. This is the Dries von Nochian release, but because, again, the case is so beautiful. And the nice bit about this is you buy the case separately and you choose what you want to put in the bullet. I chose this, I suppose, quite a warm coral, and you can see, and it's a nice lipstick. I've barely worn it, maybe twice. I'm going to put that in my handbag too. It's quite autumnal, isn't it, really? But beautiful, beautiful case. That's what we buy makeup for. Another beautiful case. Well, that's not why I bought this. I saw somebody wearing this shade. This is Gucci. Hadn't bought theirs for a long time. I can't even tell you what this is because it's so teeny tiny writing and I haven't got my reading glasses. What can you do? There we go. Princess Naran Rose. This is Rouge de Beauté Brillante, so the Brilliant collection. And I did wear this a bit in the summer. Really pretty, bright coral pink. It's a nice kind of slippy, forgiving texture, although a very bright colour. So I did enjoy that briefly in the summer. And again, excuse me, gorgeous packaging. So those were my favourites for the year. I'm always interested to hear what you guys have been loving, you discerning beauty people, you. do let me know in the comments section. In the meantime, have a glorious Christmas, a wonderful new year. Keep well and healthy, and let's see each other again in the new year with lots of new beauty releases to celebrate. Bye for now.